What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? JamiroFan2000 here with another episode of the Jamiroquai Minute. All the latest Jamiroquai news, and I just recently did a quintet of online polls for the online Jamily over on Twitter X on some questions posed about the upcoming ninth Jamiroquai album. So let's get into more news and results about that.
Hi, this is and you're watching the Jamiroquai Minute with JamiroFan2000.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? JamiroFan2000 here with another episode of the Jamiroquai Minute. All the latest Jamiroquai news, and I just recently did a quintet of online polls for the online Jamily over on Twitter X on some questions posed about the upcoming ninth Jamiroquai album. So let's get into more news and results about that. Now, in the second Jamily poll over on Twitter X, I posed a question: what would you like to see, or the online Jamily like to see, Emblazon the ninth Jamiroquai album cover art? The options, of course, was the Buffalo Man logo, JK himself, JK with the band, or some type of incorporation of the Jamily itself in that album cover. And we saw Jamiroquai do that in the past on Jamiroquai's album Rock the Slice Star on one of the many covers. But according to the Jamily, over 90% of the online Jamily vote poll voted that they would love to see the return of the Jamiroquai Buffalo Man logo on the cover of the ninth Jamiroquai album. Now, in the third Jamily online poll at Twitter X concerning the ninth Jamiroquai album, the question posed in that online poll was how many instrumentals would the Jamily like to see in the track list of the upcoming ninth Jamiroquai album? Now, out of the options was between 1 to 4 total instrumentals on the track list for the ninth Jamiroquai album. But over 65% of the online Jamily in that online poll voted they'd like to see 1 to 2 new instrumentals on the track list of Jamiroquai album number 9. Now, in the Jamily's fourth online poll over on Twitter X concerning the ninth Jamiroquai album, I posed the following question: how many more original new song B-sides would the Jamily like to see on potential single releases to support the ninth Jamiroquai album release? Now, the options were, of course, original instrumental B-sides, original song B-sides, or more Jamiroquai remixes of said singles that are released from the ninth Jamiroquai album. But over 83% of the online Jamily in that vote poll voted they'd like to see more original song B-sides to complement the potential B-sides on the single releases from Jamiroquai album 9. And rounding off those 5 online polls concerning the Jamiroquai album 9 on Twitter X, I posed the final question, and be aware there will be more polls coming very soon on my Twitter X for the online Jamily to vote in, which will sure be covered on a future episode of the Jamiroquai Minute, but I digress. In the 5th and final online Jamily poll concerning the 9th Jamiroquai album, I posed the following question: if things are basically peas and carrots between all the band members of Jamiroquai, which of the following choice Jamiroquai former band members would you like to see come back, possibly contribute, possibly compose, possibly be part of the ninth Jamiroquai album recording sessions? Now, out of those choices, I had the following choices: Wallace Buchanan, who of course was the consummate vibe man and didgeridoo player of Jamiroquai; Stuart Zender, former Jamiroquai bassist; Simon Katz, former guitarist of Jamiroquai, and those were the choices. And it looks like over 78% of the online Jamily voting, with a little bit of King for a Day on their hearts, voted that they'd love to see Jamiroquai bassist Stuart Zender come back and work with Jamiroquai on the ninth Jamiroquai album that is currently being recorded. So I hope you enjoyed those results of those online polls. And like I said, in the middle of this episode of the Jamiroquai Minute, there are going to be many more polls about the ninth Jamiroquai album that I will be posting on my Twitter X. So be sure to follow me at JamiroFan2000 over on Twitter X and on my social media, and I'll try to bring those polls results to you in a future episode of the Jamiroquai Minute. But as always, this is JamiroFan2000, and thank you again, everyone, for watching Jamiroquai Minute, and I'll see you again really soon with another episode of the Jamiroquai Minute. Bye-bye, everybody, and take care.